Assalamu alaikum. Our honor to have you with us today. The moderator will be Brother Bilal from Malaysia, and we will be talking about the annexation of West Bank, and most probably we'll also allude to the Nakba.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. It's the second episode of Asia Middle East Forum webinars that address issues of concern in connection to Palestine and Asian affairs. It's my pleasure to welcome our speaker today, Dr. Musa Abu Marzouk, who will be talking on the Israeli new wave of annexation in the Palestinian West Bank and relevant developments as well. This talk is timely and of high significance as we hear from a senior Palestinian leader on Israeli moves to go further with their colonial expansion and aggression, and even challenge the international community. As for instance, this Israeli settlement activity and annexation has been defined by the United Nations Security Council as a violation of international law. The Israeli occupation authorities attempt to isolate the Palestinians and act on them with no or minimal positive involvement and reactions from other countries, especially from the great supporters and friends of Palestine. But before we proceed, let me please introduce our speaker, Dr. Musa Abu Marzouk. He is a senior Palestinian political leader. He is an elected member of the political bureau of Hamas, and he is currently in charge of the movement's international relations bureau. Dr. Musa is a Palestinian refugee. His parents were forcefully displaced from the village of Yibna in 1948, and that happened to his family and other 800,000 Palestinians who were expelled from their homes by Zionist forces, and that also destroyed hundreds of villages, cities, and even lives. The tragic event has been called the Palestinian catastrophe, the Nakba, which we commemorate its 72nd anniversary this month. But the story didn't stop there. The family of Dr. Musa went to a refugee camp in Gaza Strip in the city of Rafah. He was born in 1958 and he grew up there, and later he went overseas to pursue his studies. He earned his bachelor's degree in engineering from Egypt and obtained master's and PhD degrees from the United States. Though he was arrested in the States for 2 years with no charge against him, and even the Israeli authorities tried to extradite him, but Alhamdulillah, he was released before any success of such attempt. Our speaker is a co-founder of Hamas, and he has been responsible for multiple files in connection to the Palestinian struggle. Thank you again, Dr. Musa, for joining us. You may share with us your thoughts for 30 minutes. The floor is yours now.
Thank you, Bilal, and thank you 2 times. The first time for the introduce me for the speech, and the second, you let me younger 7 years. My birth in 51, not 58. Anyhow, my speech about the annexation of Israel plan for the Palestinian territories. Anyhow, we have to speak about the history before to come in the subject. The history of annexation in Israeli policies, as everybody knows, the settlement activities in several governmental and region in West Bank continue without interruption since they were occupied. Since 1967 and the end of 2017, over 200 settlements have been built in the West Bank. This include 131 settlements recognized by the Israeli occupation as the communities. The building of the approximately 110 settlements without formal. In Hebron, there are several inclusive of settlers inside the city themselves. In East Jerusalem also, 11 neighborhoods were annexed to the municipal area of the city. During those years, military confiscation order were issued for the approximately 31,000 dunum. That's before 1979. Between 1979 and 2002, more than 900,000 dunums were considered as state land. This is according to the British law. Area C include approximately 1.2 million hectares of the state land. That's mean 36.5 of the Area C. Also approximately 22% of the entire West Bank. There are currently an additional 200,000 dunums of the state land in Area A and B. You know, the West Bank now divided in many areas, A and B and C. When you're talking about Area A, this is controlled by the Palestinian as a management and security. When they're talking about Area B, it's controlled by Palestinian as a management, but the Israeli security has take place. And Area C is controlled by Israeli, by both, also the management and the security. The areas behind the Israeli wall also, the last one, the last point, the area behind of the Israeli wall which will be confiscated are 12% of the West, the whole area in the West Bank. Now, everybody knows how much that plan is serious. Because there is many reasons for that. The Palestinian territory have become isolated island literally. Secondly, the Trump-Netanyahu deal, which is known as the media as the century deal, is a true example of how serious these plans are. The number of the settlement established in the Palestinian territory in the West Bank and Jerusalem doubled from 150 or 44 approximately settlement before the sign of the Oslo Agreement to 515 settlement and outposts. The number of settlers also in the occupied Palestinian territory in 1967 rising from about 200,000 settlers before the Oslo Agreement to some right now 900 settlers now. That give us the idea how much serious this plan for the annexation in the land of West Bank. If you're talking about the subject of implication of annexation plan for the opportunity to resolve the conflict between Arab and Palestinian and the Israeli as well. The application of the Israeli law to the West Bank settlement means the end of the two-state solution project. The annexation of the West Bank to the West Bank to the Israeli sovereignty, eliminating the possibility of establishing Palestinian state from which the West Bank is a part. Due to shrinking the available land, the distribution of geographical communicating and transformation of the West Bank into the several ghettos with the strict separation measure. If the Israeli annexation plan are pushed toward, what remain for the West Bank will be for the Palestinian, for a Palestinian Ubuntu state. It is like the Arkabil of the separate divided island, completely surrounded by Israeli and connected to the connected to outside. I mean to the Jordan, mainly to the Jordan, which is the gate for the whole world. The plan are end of the international effort to the implement the two-state solution, which has regional and international consensus and almost a Palestinian agreement. أنا مسموع هيك؟ أنا شايف إنه راح الصوت بلال. أيوة وينك أنت رحت وين؟ Yes. The implication of annexation right now, schema for the daily life of the Palestinian. It is make a big problem for the Palestinians themselves, because the settlement are considered the most influential factor for the reality of the life of the West Bank and the implication for the human rights of the Palestinian, devastating, exceeding hundreds of thousands of the acre of land, including grazing area and the agriculture area also, restricting the movement of Palestinians themselves by setting up a barrier and other means that restrict the movement of the preventing access to the many agricultural land for the Palestinian. Restricting also the commercial and economic movement of the Palestinian society while making the Palestinian territory isolated island. The annexation plan would give the Israeli more freedom to attack Palestinian rights and to treat Palestinian residents in the village and the towns adjacent to the settlements as introduced into the land. Control of the water, the last one, the control the water sources, or the one before the last one, it's control the water sources and strategical places such as hills, mountains, and instruction. Also separating the Palestinian from their Arab depth and confining them in isolated, controlled by the Israeli. In practice, the Palestinian will turn into the tools to the Israeli economic process. Let us talk about the American position, because this is the main position in the whole world, because behind the Palestinian, for sure. The United States position adapt the Israeli position, which started with the stopping the funding of United Nations Relief and Works Agency for the Palestinian, which is called UNRWA. Recognition of Jerusalem in December 2017 as the capital of occupying state, moving the American embassy to Jerusalem also, and American recognition in March 2019 of the Israeli decision to annex the Golan Heights, as everybody knows. That's in 1981. For more than 4 decades, especially since 1978, the official American position has been regarded as the Israeli settlement in the West Bank illegitimate, then illegal, then obstacle to peace. And this American position is completely contrary to the international law and legitimize colonialism. Although many countries reject the American decision, this decision may have the way for the Israeli to announce the annexation of legal of large part illegal, I mean, of the large parts of the West Bank. But if we go to the European, the second position, European position on the settlement development has evolved toward the criminalization of the Israeli settlement into occupied Palestinian territory as it contravenes international law. Security Council and the United Nations General Assembly resolution also, the European Union has taken a set of decisions, whether collectively or across the European Union, especially in the approval of the European Union countries on the Security Council resolution that condemned the Israeli settlement and consider it illegitimate and illegal. However, the European countries and the will assign to the regarding to the issue of the settlements, which required the European Union to exert more economic pressure on Israel as its strategic partnership forces Israel to stop settlement activity and comply with the international legal resolution. There is different, of course, of the position of the European Union countries in their foreign policy toward the Palestinian issue. And there is confusion in the European position, especially after the deal of the century announcement between the balance of their interest and the American and Israel pressure, where the refusal was shy in the entirely and not commensurate that with the danger of gold. You know, this will reflect negatively on the European role in the future. Maybe the third position we have to know about the Arab and the Islamic position. As everybody knows, at the level of the people after of the Arab and the Islamic world, they reject the occupation and neither accept the existence nor the normalization of relation with it. This has been proven by many position opinion polls and modes of the people known to any familiar with it. As for official level, there is disagreement, and the Palestinian issue has become material for regional polarization, except for the official institutions such as the Arab League and the Muslim World League that reject those plans, just as the official level of the individual countries rejected as well, but hope for more steps also. Finally, the Palestinian position, everybody knows there is the Palestinian consequences on the reject of the American plan, as well as the Zionist plan to annex land, collectivate settlement, and increase the number of settlers. Practically, option of the Palestinian comfort the plan. The influential option are limited to the Palestinian. In light of alliances and the crises that are taking place in the region and the world, this means more weakness and lack of influence for the official Palestinian system, especially in the light of the continuing Palestinian division, except perhaps letters, initiatives, and legal procedure in international forums, which after will evoke no response at all. In the history of the conflict proves that the Israeli did not adhere to any international resolution, which means a greater impact of armed resistance in the equation of the conflict, and the Palestinian being convinced with this resistance. The Palestinian should take the following steps as you see suggesting. Reassess the peace process and the outcome of the situation in the occupied territory, especially in the West Bank and Jerusalem, and also international attitude, especially the American position. Second, adopting Palestinian strategy and program of action contrary to what exists now, based on the following. This is a point of you see of my suggesting. First of all, achieving national unity and comprehensive Palestinian reconciliation. B, canceling the Oslo Accord and withdraw from recognition of Israel. The solution of the Palestinian Authority and fully restoring responsibility for the occupation of the occupied territory. D, devoting the relationship between the Palestinian people and Israel as in occupation country, and the Palestinian people must get rid of this occupation. Moving the PLO leaders outside the West Bank and leading the struggle from the Palestinian people from outside. Informing all parties of the new and serious strategy in the application, because it is the neutral response to Israeli annexation the West Bank land, and broken the law also, the law of annexation and the abolition of the main goal, or make an abolition of the main goals of the peace process, which is a Palestinian state in border of 67, and Jerusalem is the capital of the state. This is my suggesting for the Palestinian. They have to do to facing the Israeli plan. And thank you for listening to me. And I hope I'm not exceed any time, you see.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you for your remarks. And I believe this is an insightful remarks from you. And let me first just conclude what you have just mentioned just now, and then we will open the floor for comments and questions as well. So Dr. Musa started with a historical background about settlement and the Israeli occupation in Palestine. He mentioned the number of settlers, the expansion of settlements, and also Dr. Musa after that talked about the situation, especially in the West Bank. How is the Israeli occupation enforcing its control over the people and over the land? He just give examples of the restrictions on economic activities, on movement, all of these settlement implications on the Palestinian people. So in the West Bank, actually it's a special division that, as other parts of Palestine, made the area as a divided land or as an island, divided island. So Dr. Musa also talked specifically about the difference between the settlement activities before and after the Oslo Accords. And he said that the number of settlers accelerated after the signing of Oslo Accords from just 200,000 before that, and then it becomes 900,000. After that, our speaker went on and he talked about international positions. He started with the United States positions right now. He mentioned about the cutting of UNRWA funding, which is an agency for the Palestinian refugees, and the movement or that relocation of the United States Embassy to Jerusalem. Another point is the approval of the United States for Israel to annex parts of the West Bank, which was traditionally opposed by United States administration. So after that, Dr. Musa mentioned the European Union positions, and he mentioned that there are differences between what is declared from the EU and the United States, but still the EU opposes the Israeli settlement, which considers as illegal. The same position is the official one from the United Nations. Dr. Musa concluded with the Palestinian position, and he highlighted the Palestinian division as a barrier to the effective rule of the Palestinians to oppose the occupation and to deal with it effectively. But still, the Palestinians are fighting the occupation, and there is a great impact of resistance. Dr. Musa proposes a plan for Palestinians to move forward to adopt a Palestinian strategy, a political program to reconciliate and to bring people all together, to cancel the Oslo Accords, and to importantly reactivate the rule of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. So a lot of points Dr. Musa already mentioned in his remarks. So I will open the floor for questions and comments. But before that, let us please watch this short video about the Palestinian Nakba, which we commemorate its 72nd anniversary. This video was produced by the media team of Asia Middle East Forum.
I promise before God that we will go home. We have to go home.
Okay, this is the video that was produced by AMEF media team on the 72nd anniversary of the Palestinian catastrophe, the Nakba. So now, please share your ideas. You can ask also your questions to our speaker, Dr. Musa Abu Marzouk. So I open the floor for our participants. Any questions?
Yeah. May I have the liberty to ask the first question?
Yes, please, Doctor.
Many people actually ask, and they say that what's new? You know, it's been going on for the last 72 years. So what's a way out if Palestinians are not able to do anything, solid, and the Arab world is not in a good shape, and Islamic world has its own problems. So what's the way forward? Are we going only to wait for the Israelis to accomplish their mission? Or what should we do in that case? I think answering this question is a bit hard for many reasons, because basically it is very clear that we do not have enough material in our hands to face this onslaught. The idea about national unity and also other ideas, they are usually proposed whenever a problem arises, but nothing actually materializes. So I think we need some kind of innovative ideas in this regard. I don't know what they are in the moment. But I think we need Dr. Musa to enlighten us more on this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh yeah, you know, as you said, Doctor, exactly. In our hand, they're not to do. If we as a Palestinian stay as you see, as we are right now, dealing with the subject and the conflict. If the Oslo Agreement is still working and making the relation between the Palestinian and the Israeli in this way, there is no hope for anything. We have to change the equation for that. We have to change the relation. Sorry. We have to change the relation between the Palestinian people and the Israeli. We have to cancel the Oslo Agreement first of all, and let the Palestinian people facing the occupation directly, and they do their best to get rid of the occupation. If the relation between the Palestinian Authority and the Israel, as it is right now, there is no hope for anything. If we have to change that and let the Palestinian facing the problem without the Palestinian Authority. The Palestinian Authority should be, you see, dismissed or dissolution, and the Palestinian leader, they can go outside of the West Bank and let the Palestinian people dealing with the occupation. This is the first thing. And if you see the whole map after that, you will see there is inside the Palestinian territory or the historical land of Palestinian, more than 6 million Palestinian facing less than that number from the view inside Palestine, and that make the Israeli themselves no way to live in this situation. But if we, you see, stay as we are right now, there's nothing in our hand, and we can't do anything. This is the main subject for that. Secondly, we have to change our attitude about the conflict. We have now to give the Palestinian the right and tools to resist the occupation, not by peace or but by threaten international law or anything like this. We have to give them the tools that resist the occupation by the tools with the Israeli understand, the Israeli deal with it in right way. In this way, you can see the whole situation change, and everything gonna change. This is the second thing. Third steps, the Palestinian outside Palestine. Also, the Palestinian they should work hard to solve their problem, not to good life, making good life in their where they are living right now, but they should make good life for the future and strategic. They should fight the Israeli and to work to resist the occupation also by you see the tools with which the Israeli understand it very well. If we do these third steps, I guess the whole situation gonna change, and we're gonna see a completely different situation in the future.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Dr. Marzouk, I have a question for you.
Yes, تفضل.
India's stand on Palestine consistently losing support Palestinian cause from India. What was the reason? What reason behind it? And in recent past, you see that on the issue of Jerusalem, India has overlooked his non-aligned policy about Palestine.
You asking about the position of the government of India about
yes, exactly
in Palestine right now.
Yeah.
You know, now not only in the India, most of the governments went to the right wing of the policies in India and Europe and many places in Latin America. All of those governments maybe going to the right you see for their policy those days. That because many reasons. First reason, the position of United States, and they want to make good relation with the Israeli through good relation to United States through the window of Israel or the door of Israel. Through Israel, they want to improve their relation with the United States. Second reason, the position of Palestinian. Because the Palestinian making a good relation and they bullish and they make good face to Israel to deal with, and they normalize the relation with Israel, and we're asking Israel to negotiate and to asking the Israel to deal with the Palestinian. And this is the Palestinian position weakening the right of Palestinian, and they open the door for the other government to deal with Israeli, and nobody can say for those government don't do that, because you are the Palestinian did with the Israeli the same thing before us. How come you asking us to stopping the relation with Israel, and you looking for the relation as the strategic point of view? Then this is open the door for all of those governments, especially in India and China, to deal with the conflict in point of the Palestinian point of view. Then nobody can say to them, you are making a good mistake. Second thing, maybe most of the government, when they're thinking about about any problem, they're thinking about not moral thing or the right thing or the international law from this window. They're looking about their interest. What is their interest and how come to deal with this interest to improve you see, their position and their interest in their country. This is the three reasons to see what has happened in most of the government, not only Indian government. You see the same thing with China. You see the same thing with Brazil and Argentina. All of those countries, big countries, they are. You're talking about half of the population in the world. They changed their position because of the Palestinian and the American, and they changed the whole world in the interest of their governments.
Before we end this webinar, AMEF yesterday issued a statement on the 72nd anniversary of Nakba. So we would like to share with our participants today. The statement reads, on the 72nd anniversary of Palestinian Nakba, AMEF calls for international efforts to end Israeli occupation and repatriate Palestinian refugees. The Asia Middle East Forum calls for positive international efforts to help end the Israeli occupation in Palestine and repatriate the Palestinian refugees to their homeland. The Israeli occupation has caused prolonged suffering in Palestine and instability elsewhere in the region, as the Israeli forces continue to carry out attacks over sovereign countries. The lingering effect of occupation seems alarming, both in political aspect and human rights aspect as well. The recent Israeli announcement of another wave of annexation in the occupied West Bank serves as a reminder of the Israeli disregard to Palestinian basic rights and the international law. In the spirit of international solidarity and upon a collective responsibility to make the end of occupation, we urge friends and supporters of Palestine to play roles on all possible arenas to support the Palestinian legitimate rights of self-determination and sovereignty. In the aftermath of the Palestinian Nakba, the catastrophe that took place on May 15 in 1948, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were forcefully displaced from their homes by Zionist forces. The invaders totally destroyed more than 530 Palestinian towns and cities, and official reports state that thousands of Palestinians have been killed. That's the end. With that, I would like to thank our speaker, Dr. Musa Abu Marzouk, member of Hamas Political Bureau, head of the International Relations Bureau in the movement. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us. And I also would like to thank our participants who joined us today. And we look forward to having you in our next episodes of webinars. So please keep yourself updated. You can get the updates of Asia Middle East Forum from our online platforms, from our page on Facebook and the website as well.